Everybody, welcome into our daily Coach and Company podcast where we dive a little bit deeper into the topics we talk about on the morning show. If you guys missed any of it, you can catch the morning show on demand on our Coach and Company YouTube page. While you are here, hit that subscribe button, like, share the show. We also have weekday wagers, weekend wagers today at 2 p.m. Eastern time, as always. We never go more than 20 or 30 minutes because we love to talk sports just like you guys do. Also, do not forget, I have a brand new Sirius XM radio show, channel 156, 2 to 4 Eastern time today. It is called Off the Ropes. Me and the artist formerly known as Baron Corbin, Bishop Dyer, will join me today as we talk everything pro wrestling. But today here on the podcast, I want to talk about two organizations that clearly continue to be delusional in what their futures look like. And we can have a work stoppage in both. But here's the crazy part, that in this day and age, with so many sports fans and so many things that are out there to watch, these are two sports that I don't think people are going to miss if they do stop working. Let's start with the group that has the All-Star game this weekend. I don't know that I've ever seen a sport that has or could have more momentum than they've ever had in their 28-year history, with the most popular player that they've ever had in their 28-year history. But yet they can't seem to get out of their own way. Nafisa Collier, many of you probably don't even know who that is, but they believe that everybody knows who they are. She's a former player, big-time college player. She is part of the executive board in the WNBA. She's also one of the co-founders of the new unrivaled 3-on-3 league that they run in the wintertime. A lot of big names play in it, but let's be honest. The only reason they have higher salaries is because they got 3 or 4 really, really good sponsors, but nobody's watching them on TV. It happens during the NBA season and so many other things going on. So Nafisa Collier goes on First Take yesterday on ESPN with Stephen A. Smith and starts spewing nonsense, saying, among other things, we have more leverage than we've ever had right now. We're asking for a lot more money. We want to get paid what we deserve based off of the explosion of women's sports, in particular, the WNBA. And as I'm watching the interview and I'm listening to just more and more of this, I was like, how can this be the representation from the WNBA to talk about what their situation is? And when you are a league, especially a niche league, and they don't want to admit that they are a niche sport because the NBA is so popular, the players are making now $70 million in supermax salaries. So they look at that and they say, wait a second, I play in the same building. Oklahoma City could get a WNBA franchise. They've talked about it, and they've got SGA 71 million. They got Chet making 40 million, and they believe, oh, we're in the same boat. Not only are you not in the same boat, you're not even on the same river. And faster you understand that, the faster you guys are going to at least be reasonable. Because here's the thing, that right now, outside of Caitlin Clark games on TV that are all moved to bigger arenas like they did this past week when they were supposed to play at Mohegan Sun against the Connecticut Sun, they moved that game to Boston. So a lot of the other players are so delusional that they are equally a star the size of Caitlin Clark that they speak out on it, or they take cheap shots, or they knock her to the floor because they're like, wait a second, why is she getting the attention that I didn't get? Well, she was an absolute superstar, rock star in college, and she came at just the right time. And when you look at ticket sales for her games and everybody else's, it's not close. It's not close. But they could be an incredible product. They could be, if they find something in the middle, maybe they can get a little bit of a raise to $150,000, $160,000 for a max salary. They want more than unrivaled pays the top players, which is over $200,000 a year. Now, here's the issue, because I looked this up. The WNBA has never been a profitable league. At no point in their 28-year history have they been profitable. In 2024, the league was projected to have lost over $50 million, despite revenue reaching an estimated $180 to $200 million in 2023. Their financial health heavily depends on the NBA, which subsidizes the entire league. There is no other business that exists that if they went for 28 years losing money, that they would still be in business. But yet, because it's entertainment, these women feel like that doesn't apply to them. Why would the numbers have to make sense for us to make millions of dollars? If you were Coke and you lost money for 28 years on average, Coke would not be in business today. But yet, not only do they not understand that, they are threatening to stop working when they have no leverage. But in their minds, they have all the leverage. This kind of stuff drives me insane because I'm a gigantic sports fan. I'm a gigantic basketball fan. I played college basketball myself. I want everybody to win, but there is supply and demand, and there is a reason why pro lacrosse players or pro cornhole players don't make as much as NBA players because the money coming in does not match that of the NBA, and the WNBA is the same thing. But yet, this continues to be a narrative. Nobody has stepped in this room of over 4 players that showed up yesterday to tell them, ladies, you're way off on this one. And if they threaten to sit out, NBA owners that had continued to lose on average, listen to this number, on average, over $10 million a year. Do you think they're going to sit in a conference room and have somebody walk in or have Nafisa Collier walk in and say, hey, unless you give us what we deserve, we're going to stop working? And then you ask her, what do you think it is that you deserve? Well, she couldn't even tell it on first take. She said, exploded in popularity. Yeah. Caitlin Clark has exploded you into popularity. But if you're an NBA owner, they're looking at dollars and cents. They're not looking at potential. They're not looking at, well, this could make money in the next 5 years because I'm looking at my books, and my books tell me I haven't made money in 28. So you're walking in here. It's kind of like if you have a job and your job is losing money for the company, and then you walk in and demand double your salary, and your boss looks at you and go, are you out of your mind? You're lucky to have that. And that's kind of how the WNBA is right now. On top of that, their All-Star weekend is really a time, and it's this weekend, where they can have all their focus on them. There's no NBA, there's no NFL, there's no NHL, there is Major League Baseball. It does not have the viewership of the other leagues. And yet, no Caitlin Clark, out with an injury. What makes it even worse, it's in Indianapolis, where the Fever play. This was supposed to be the big all-star homecoming for Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. But now she's going to be there in person to help coach her team. Be there in person to help coach her team. That'll have the same ring to it. It just blows my mind in a 2025 when there is a fight for every single dollar that is out there in the entertainment space that you would openly reveal your hand, openly say, we've never had more leverage than you do right now. Here's where she's also wrong. A lot of these popular players of the women's side, like a Diana Taurasi and others, Brittany Griner, we know they went over to Russia where a lot of them could make north of $1 million a year because that league is way different financially than it is here in the United States. Brittany Griner was in jail for 8 or 9 months in Russia. So that option really isn't on the table anymore. And those leagues are in the wintertime opposite of the WNBA. So those players could play in both, which is kind of why they developed the Unrivaled League, because those players can no longer go to Russia and feel safe when the United States is not getting along with Russia right now. So when Collier says we have all of the leverage, you don't even have the Russia League anymore to subsidize the top players in your league. So now you're telling those players, yeah, let's sit out. So now you have zero income from basketball unless you're one of the few that's on a unrivaled 3-on-3 team. Oh, did I say 3-on-3? Because that's the other leverage she's talking about, a 3-on-3 league instead of running up and down full court. It's absolute nonsense. but maybe as much as Major League Baseball. You are listening to the Coach and Company podcast. We do this every single weekday right here on our Coach and Company YouTube page, and you can get the audio through our partnership with Believe. Major League Baseball has been taking a lot of hits in the last couple of years, namely because of teams like the LA Dodgers, who have a gigantic TV deal in LA, so gigantic that everybody that lives out here, including myself, can't get all the games. But yet they still make it's worth like $3 billion. It's how they are able to afford all of these players on 100 million, 200 million, $300 million contracts. But yet, as their contract comes up in the next couple of years, Tony Clark, who kind of runs everything for the players, says that baseball does not want to have a salary cap. Well, you should probably say the baseball players do not want a salary cap, because best believe baseball owners want a salary cap. There is no universe that exists where a Major League Baseball owner wants to be forced to play a player like Shohei Ohtani north of $700 million a year. It doesn't exist. But that's the world they're living in right now. That's the sandbox they're right now. We don't salary cap. You're saying, okay, we also, much like the WNBA, are going to set out for an entire season. And in 2025, when there's so many other options, and right now, none of these, well, not none, but a lot of these teams, the local TV deals are kind of up in the air. There's different regionals that are trying to take teams. Nobody really knows where all these games are. You can pay for the Major League Baseball package to get the games of the teams that you want, but even that has restrictions and blackouts and things like that. So if I get the MLB package, I cannot watch Angels games. I cannot watch Dodgers games. I can get Angels games on, I think, channel 63 on my Cox out here. But Dodgers, because of the channel they're on, I don't even get it because it's not carried on my cable system. It's absolutely bananas. And so to say we don't want a salary cap, you're telling the owners that we want you to continue to pay more, but not cap it. So now we're forcing you to potentially, depending on what team it is, to lose money, just be able to compete and win. And that's not a league that is going to be sustainable long term. I'm shocked they've gotten to this point, not having a salary cap. So now to say we don't want one, I'm telling you right now, these owners, just like the NBA, are going to say enough, enough. And the only right way to do it is the way the NBA does it. The NBA will never not be profitable the way they do it. Why? Because they have a revenue sharing plan, meaning I think it's like 58%, something like that. It's in the 50s. But every dollar that comes in, every single dollar is spoken for. Players get a certain percentage, owners get a certain percentage, and that's the way it goes. So now when you've got Amazon forcing that number up, and it got so high that TNT just said we can't afford it anymore. So they lost the NBA, and it's going to be on NBC, Amazon, and ESPN for billions of dollars. Conversely, the WNBA is, I think it's 2 billion over 10 like that. So it's only 100 million, 150, something like that every single year. That's why they don't have the salaries that the NBA does, but they don't seem to get it. So Major League Baseball owners are looking at the NBA, they're looking at the NFL, and they're saying, we need to do that. A scenario where a league is losing money because of players' salaries, especially when you're in a league where there are players making 40, 50, 60, but a salary cap to players that have never played under a salary cap, they just, all of us are going to be, comes in, owners add to it, that's the money that goes out. Some point, and I don't know which one's going to blink first, but right now there is a competition for least self-aware between the WNBA and Major League Baseball. Which one is going to screw themselves over first? My guess, because it's next year, it's going to be Major League Baseball. But the WNBA, they are right behind, and we'll see how that works out. But I, for one, I like watching certain WNBA games, but at no point do I think there's anybody on that court that should be making 10, $15 million, even $5 million. And even though they don't want to admit it, that's just the way it is. And if the games go away, I can tell you this: the only games that I've watched this year, like full games, are ones that Caitlin Clark played in. I watch highlights, I watch clips, I look at numbers, I look at stats so that I can prepare for the show. But I will not sit through a Las Vegas Aces against Dallas Wings game just because Paige Becker is for Dallas. It's just, to me, they're not that exciting to watch compared to others. I still like it, but they're not in demand for the romantic sports fan. All right, setting the stage for the weekend because we never go longer than 20 or 30 minutes. Remember, starting Monday on the show, we will start our NFL content. 33 shows. 33 shows between now and when we launch the NFL on September 4th in Philadelphia, and then there's a Friday game in Brazil. It's going to be super exciting. We're still trying to figure out, me and producer man are going over it on just how many shows we're going to do because candidly, we did not believe that we would have this many shows a year in. We did not believe we would have this much on our plate. So we have to be very, very smart with the content that we put out between The Last Word, Coach and Bro, Coaching Company, and now with my new radio show every single day. Those are basically 4 shows. 2 of them are daily. It's a lot. It's a lot, but this is what we wanted. And it's happening because of all of you. I see Kimberly, I see Nate in the chat. You guys are amazing, one fan at a time, and then we become a team. And it's so much fun. And I'm excited for this year's football season because we're just going to absolutely kill it. We're going to absolutely, it's not even about the bets. The bets will be fun, but it's the content, it's the discussion, it's the talking about the different teams, the different players, prop betting, all that stuff. We're going to do all of it right here on Coach and Company. All right, that's going to do it for now. I want all of you to have a great weekend. Enjoy the PFL event. Again, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday on ESPN Plus. And then Dustin Poirier, a guy I respect a ton. It will be his retirement fight at UFC 318. So tune in for that. And I encourage you to support all of MMA. All right, we will see you Monday morning. That'll do it for now for Producer Man and our entire crew here at Coaching Company. I am the coach. We'll see you Monday live on Stadium or right here on weekend.